Hello and good afternoon to anybody watching this video. This is a video response to the male species that are spiritually blinded by taking up this cult movement in placing labels upon your souls, i.e. beta male, sigma, introvert, extrovert, INFJ, this, that, the other, blah, 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 blah. It's all a part of the satanic cult movement. Nowhere in the Bible does it mention Jesus Christ being beta and an omega. It does, however, mention that he was alpha and omega, and still is alpha and omega. So for any of you men to follow this cult movement, you need to snap out of it and pray unto God the Father for deliverance. Because it is, however, causing a lot of psychological damage within the male species today. And this is why I removed myself from this cult movement, because it tried to psychologically weaken me to the point where I relentlessly studied the Bible, and it was brought to my attention that the Bible scriptures do not support this movement, and that is all the proof that I need. Does showing signs of passive aggressiveness within anyone for that matter, but mostly men, make you a beta male? No, it doesn't. It does, however, indicate that you are psychologically weak, and if you are willing to put in the work and make the sacrifices, you can strengthen your mind. And you could also reverse the damage that this cult movement has actually caused upon your psychological health. Thus actually, in fact, taking back full control and full power of your souls and your identities for that matter. Talking from past experiences, I've had moments where I would show, or should I say I would show signs of passive aggressiveness. Did this make me a beta male? Absolutely not. Because like I said, and I'll say it for the last and final time, the Bible does not support this movement. It's all worldly programmed. And this is why I removed myself from the cult movement. I would, however, highly recommend, as well as suggest, that anyone, and yes, this includes you men as well out there, pick up a copy of the Bible and studied it relentlessly, as well as seek after the Holy Spirit in order to deliver you from all of these cult movements that you've put your souls under. Because essentially, or should I say essentially, what you are doing is you're putting your soul through all of these labels, and you're creating worldly programmed characteristics / personas, thus actually in fact placing you within boxes for the opposite sex that happen to think carnally, if that makes any sense. In other words, they think the way that the world thinks rather than the way that the Bible as well as the Holy Spirit thinks. Thus actually in fact trapping men within worldly program relationships that may be all high and mighty at the time and great while it lasts, but when that honeymoon phase dies out, it doesn't work. You end up both going your own way due to indifferences, because people are quick to tap into their feelings and emotions, and this is why we have the mess that we have today within the dating world. Because the devil uses people's feelings and emotions to cause psychological and spiritual warfare. And like I said, this is why I removed myself from any of the cult movements that attempted to put me within boxes based off of worldly program labels, thus actually in fact attempting to trap me within worldly program relationships and friendships. I know my worth, the Bible knows my worth, the Holy Spirit knows my worth, and that right there is all that matters. I am Alpha and Omega. I'm not a beta and an omega, because the Bible, like I said, does not support this movement, and you need to get out of it now. Otherwise, it is going to cause immense psychological damage to the point where, game's up. You've been feminized. Congratulations. You now have the masculine women chasing you. And this is what, this cult movement does. Like I said, which is why I removed myself from it, because there's no truth to any of it. It's just a movement that's created to place labels upon people, to psychologically weaken people. And before I wrap this video up, like I've already mentioned numerous of times, the sheer fact that the Bible doesn't support it is enough proof that it is worldly, and it isn't of God's world, nor his gospel word for that matter. So please take this video into consideration, take something from it, learn from it, but most of all, and most importantly, use your free will to make the right choices and the right decisions. Otherwise, the more you fellas out there keep this up, the more you're just going to essentially steal from yourselves, spiritually that is, which can all be given back, folds upon folds upon folds over, under the watchful eye of God and the blood of Christ. If you're willing to put in the sacrifices, the time, along with the healing, in order to get you there. Like I said, it's going to be extremely uncomfortable. There are times where you will show signs of passive aggressiveness. Rightfully so. Because even Jesus Christ, himself got frustrated. But yet, he was quick enough to heal. Up here, that is, and in here. And he was able to switch off from all of the pain and the suffering that the world put him through, and still put him through. Try that one again. That still put him through, even today. So, peace be with y'all. Look after one another. Drink plenty. But most of all, and most importantly, stop believing in this movement, man.